Okay, I'm Jim Preston, and I'd like to show you Navajo Rocks area. Over this way is Highway 313, coming up through the middle to the road from Highway 191. Come up here, go to Canyonlands, Dead Horse, Mag 7, Horse Thief, all that good stuff. But this little area in here is fairly new, and it's really one of the most exciting and probably one of my favorite areas now to ride. Uh, you can park here or here. This is the lower parking lot, the middle parking lot, and there's a little parking area up here for this trailhead. It doesn't get used much, but sometimes. So there's several different ways to do this. I see people climbing Ramblin' quite often, and I think that's the wrong direction. It's a nice descent here, but this is heaven. This is just heaven through here. It's like powder skiing. So anyway, park here. And take Rocky Tops. There's an interesting area where it slopes off, somewhat steep, and it's very rideable. It's actually easier to ride it than to walk it. But people who are new to that strange kind of thing will often walk it because they think they're going to be sliding down. But it's slick rock, and it's just fine. You aren't going to have a problem on it. So you can take it up through here. There's when you get over to here you're climbing up onto a little mesa here, and it's nice. I mean, there's some technical up here and all, and this is not a bad climb at all. There are a few spots where you gotta charge at some ledges to get over them, but you can do that. And then over in here, there's some switchbacks that are pretty nasty. Now, this is advanced right in this area. There's the tread for most of it is not advanced. It's just steep, awkward, and unusual, and visually more challenging than it is. But then there's a couple of switchbacks which are quite challenging, and even intermediates may want to walk it. Then you just head out across here. This is not much to talk about in this area here, but I do want to mention that if you do want to go out to 7 Up, this is kind of a common way to drop down. Either park here, go over here, drop down, and then head on over to Horse Thief and Mag 7. And this area has got sand, and it's unpleasant. I mean, just after rain it'd be okay, but mostly it's unpleasant. And it's a Jeep road, and this has long been a Jeep road along here, and you can park down here actually and ride it all the way up. This trailhead down here is a bit tricky. It just drops off the road kind of weird and doesn't look like a real official trailhead, and it isn't. You have toilets here, and you've got toilets at the viewpoint right here, by the way, so they're pretty access. And we've got one here now also. It's a toilet at this middle trailhead. So you ride this up, and then if you want to go this route here, you can cut it off and go rambling. But let's just say we'll go up this and climb this thing. Coney Islands. Again, there's NAR in here. This is interesting in here. I think this is quite nice actually to ride through here. There's some challenges and a few spots you might get off and just say, heck, I'll just hike this thing. And when you climb up to here, then this is all pretty straightforward. It's just old road through here. And cross over here and hit Big Lonely. Now this is an amazing place. So Chisholm comes down right here. And you catch Chisholm, actually right about here, I think. You'll catch Chisholm. Pass there, past Chisholm, and head out into here. And now you're going to end up with some really amazing slick rock to ride. It's this long ridge here of slick rock. You're climbing up and then dropping down to here. And there's some washes that are a little bit challenging, not bad. But and this is like powder skiing here. The slick rock drops down. It's really smooth. And you just let it flow. Don't just try to stick, one white dot to the next. You move your bike around. Let it move underneath your body and flow one side and flow to the other side. You guys can do this stuff. It's okay. And then you just drop down to here. It happens. But over here, this is pretty straightforward. There's some nice slick rock, and you drop down and you climb over to here. And you'll get some speed up on the slick rock. It's very nice. But this is a descent kind of thing all through here. And it's just terrific. And then you get back over into here. This is stunning. You're right up against these big, big red cliffs. It is just stunning. Now, there's some technical in here. I mean, they say don't show any black diamond, but yeah, it gets blacky dimey here for a lot of people. So there is some technical in here. You may want to walk. You've got to be pretty strong to climb some of this stuff, but it's not terrible that way. And it's extremely scenic, really interesting. I've never heard anybody say they got bored through here. So again, I like to go down this, but in this area, it doesn't really matter much. You can go kind of either way and have a good time on Big Mesa. Here, I would do these slick rock descents. I think there's no reason to go climbing this, and I have climbed it once before I got smart and decided not to take the bike shop advice. So ride this out through here and come back to the parking lot. Now, if you parked here, you know you're done with your ride. But you could, this rambling, let's talk about rambling. This area here is a bunch of slick rock, and it's really smooth and flowy. It's a little hard to find the trail. There's red paint, and it's kind of faded a bit, and I have a hard time seeing it, but if you can see red well, then it's probably easier. But you just flow, just let it flow. There's a couple of tricky spots. There's one corner where you think you're going to die, and actually you just cut sharp to the right. So you'll pass this juniper on your right, and it looks like the trail goes off a cliff. But and it does if you don't make the right turn. And then you just make this quick right turn. You have to be ready for this quick right turn, and you'll be able to then just start flowing down this thing. And it's just descending like powder skiing. Just let it flow, go travel all over the place, get loose on your bike. This is just heaven through here. And I feel so sad seeing people climbing it all the time. They just don't know, I guess. Anyway, then it's like mesa riding, and there's certainly some thrills out here. There's some washes, there's some slick rock that's really fun to ride and so forth. And you get over here, and you have to start climbing up some slick rock. So this certainly would be more fun to go down through some of this right in this area. But you're having to climb up this, which is far superior to this. So climb this stuff, hike your bike if it's too steep for you, and get back over here and finish your ride here at the lower parking lot. So that's Navajo Rocks. I can't say enough good about it. At first, when you drive in the highway, you think, oh, what could be here? Because you're just looking at kind of flat land out here. This is not particularly interesting visually along the road, but the trail builders, they nailed it. They just made this a fascinating ride, and probably my favorite now. I think the one I do the most often is this ride here. So that's Navajo Rocks, and hope to see you out there.